Welcome back.
Welcome back. We need some sort of, we need like a host.
We can't do,
Pat Sajak.
we can't do what's up everybody, because that's what everyone does.
No. But that said, what we are doing today, we did a video in the past that kind of much to my surprise was fairly popular given the size of our channel, and that was on low power variable optics versus a red dot. Basically, hey, look, pros and cons of each. We ran some drills and we kind of talked through, well, here's what I like about this or that. And so this is kind of a part to that, but we're actually going to be running the same LPVO because it's the only LPVO that I own right now, which is going to be a Vortex Viper PS2 Gen 2 1:6, okay? So it will go from 1 to 6 power. It does have a red dot feature, so you can turn on what is a pretty bright red dot at the center of that.
Surprisingly bright.
Surprisingly bright. It's probably not quite as bright as the Razor, but it's pretty damn good, and it might be as bright. But close. I mean, it's pretty damn good. Good optic and doesn't break the bank. About all in, mount, everything included. You're about $900. This is my gun optic, all this shit paid for. The optic's being run on an AXTS rifle, which for those of you who are like, what the hell is that? It's a Radian Model 1. It's what Radian was prior
originally
to being Radian. It's an OG fucking Radian Model 1 is what it is.
Do you have an OG Radian or AXTS charging handle?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. All right. What I'm going to be running, well, actually we're going to swap back and forth, but what I'm running is a, this rifle has probably been in a couple videos at this point, but a Type A rifle. This is an 11.5, that's a 14.5, so I'm going to run it with the can on this, which is going to balance out the weight a little bit. The optic setup is basically going to be LPVO versus a red dot or EOTech in this case with a magnifier, okay? And that's kind of a point that I think many people debate. Should I just do like a 1:6, 1:8, 1:10 even, or a red dot with a magnifier? This, we're not gonna get into the Unity mounts. That's gonna be a whole separate video that we're gonna get into, but the EOTech and the G33 magnifier are being run on Unity fast mounts. So if they look tall, that's because they are tall, everyone. So that's the gist of that.
What EOTech is that? XPS-3 or?
EXPS-3 -0, which is basically just one dot in the center of the donut instead of multiple for holdovers and stuff. So,
and that does have night vision setting, correct?
Does have a night vision setting. Relatively new optic. I had not owned an EOTech in a while, so this is kind of be a first test of comparing this to an LPVO. So we're just going to run a series of drills, talk it out, go some pros and cons of each, and then everyone goes on their way, right? You get to enjoy the rest of your night, eat your meatloaf. Pet your dogs.
Meatloaf!
And that's it, everyone. I know you're annoyed. We're stopping the video. I promise we will be back to it momentarily because we've got a lot of good stuff coming up in this video today. Thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff helps the channel out a lot. If you actually want to see us succeed and do okay in life and not disappoint my mother, support our business. 1911 Syndicate. It's actually a real estate company. We operate in some different states: Utah, Texas, Florida, California. Just contact us if you or someone else needs something. We will see if we can help you. We're actually pretty good at it. Okay, so we're actually pretty good at it. We just also make stupid videos as well. So contact us. Thank you for the support. You guys are the best. That's good Instagram footage.
Yeah.
Drill number 1 is going to be, we're at about 25 yards now, so it's just going to be basically how quick are each of these, no magnification, so at 1 power and without the magnifier, 25 yards, steel, 1 round on a shot timer, okay? I'll run you first. Also, mind you, Chris's gun is set up for a lefty, me. So if he looks weird with it, he is weird, but he's going to look extra weird because that gun's not set up for him.
Low ready?
Yeah, actual low ready, not your bullshit version you like to do.
So like this?
Yeah, that's my low ready.
Okay.
0.94. 105.
Getting slower.
One more, yeah, you are. Getting slower, 1.1.
Ready?
Yeah.
Again, your low ready is very different than mine. It's okay.
Same shit. There's a camera. They're going to capture the angle of it.
Wait till we see the footage. Go ahead. It's okay. There. No, no.
What are you talking about?
I was like this.
That's exactly where I'm at.
No, you were like this. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Dude.
Here we go.
If you can't win, he claims you cheat.
7-7. Your low ready is such dog shit, dude. You'll see in the video.
Same as your low ready.
See? Look at this. There's a clear fucking difference here.
Ah.
110. 8-1.
8-1. That's, by the way, literally the actual ready position. 0.93. Damn, this thing is really fucking with me, man. The brim, it's a brim problem is what it is. What was that?
9-9.
9-9, still.
7-9.
We can, no, we should hit some distance.
Okay.
We should hit some distance. Let's sling these bitches up. We're gonna have to move some shit around.
1-3-3.
Part of what I'm running into right there, I've gotten used to that high mount, and I'm overshooting it, and I'm like, oh shit, back down.
Yeah.
Like it's subtle. Rough. There you go, 162. 1-5. Okay.
So I think I won this one.
Yeah, I can see that.
Cool.
I can see that.
That's all I want to hear. Holy hell.
You got to be so close on that magnifier.
That would take so much training to get good
You've
with.
got to suck your eye up to that thing.
I mean, you got to suck it.
You got to suck it like...
Suck it.
You got to get real, like a tight...
I'm going to suck it.
Our families watch this show. That's embarrassing.
Your parents watch this?
Unfortunately.
Same with mine.
They started recently and it horrified me as soon as I found out.
My dad does, and I feel so bad.
I feel
but
horrible every time a new video comes out. Like I owe an apology.
I love you, Dad. I curse. I'm sorry.
A lot.
No more than you.
A lot.
My mom and sisters for sure don't watch this. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't watch it. She'd probably divorce me, to be honest with you. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Most dudes who hang out with me long enough wind up divorced.
Yeah, well, all the girls you dated, once they meet me, leave you. So it's a trade-off.
In all fairness, that's happened twice. They didn't leave me for Chris. They were like, oh, if these are the fucking losers you hang out with, like I'm out. And
no, they always stay the night, and you know, they break up the next day, so they get the old beat up steer. They want the young bull, you know. 336.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a low ready. So go ahead.
That was a sporadic firefight that popped off and you weren't ready for it and you missed.
No, I won.
Did you?
Yeah, the bad guy behind him died. Go ahead.
241. Solid. I'll give him that. Solid.
It felt good.
Let's get one more hit and kind of see where you're falling on this.
Okay.
193.
So better with no magnification? 266.
Yeah.
Okay. $630. So I think I won this one again.
Well, we're gonna swap guns.
We already did, didn't we?
No, I haven't run this with that.
Oh, my bad.
207.
Heads up, that's on 1 power.
.425.
And I powered it up. 333. 233.
So first things first, weight. Very, very close. Okay, the total combined weight of the LPVO with that mount, 31.6 ounces. Okay, the EOTech magnifier mounts all added up 28.8. So what are we talking about? Like 2.5 ounces or something like that. You know, you're never really gonna know. You know, who knows? Maybe if you're some genius or something, but you're never really gonna notice a 2-3 ounces worth of extra weight there. Battery life. Neither of them are great. Neither of these optics are like, which speaking of which, the battery on that Vortex is on. Turn that bitch off. Because that thing's probably got like 30 minutes before it dies. The Vortex, the battery life is 150 hours. not good. That's why I was joking, but also like, let's make sure we turn that thing off because they die very quick. The battery life on that thing is really 6 days if you're leaving it on full time. EOTech, not known for great battery life, good in comparison to the Vortex. That would be 1,000 hours, or at a 12 out of 20 setting, that would be 42 days. So,
jeez,
yeah, I know.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. And that's really the, probably the primary complaint about the EOTech is just, hey, in all honesty, I would never put an EOTech on something like a bedside gun or a truck gun that I need to have on all the time. I would never do it, like, because I would just be constantly afraid, like, dude, that battery is just so vulnerable to dying. Like, you know, for something like this that's a range gun, or, you know, shit hits the fan where you go, cool, now I turn my optic on. But in terms of like a rifle that I would leave bedside or home defense or something on all the time, EOTech's not going to be my go-to. That's still going to be an aim point. You could do something like an MRO or some other optics that have good battery life, but EOTech is not that thing. Okay, so you just got to know that going in. Eye relief. Both are tricky. Instead of going through the actual, you know, the Vortex is 3.8 inches, the EOTech's 2.2 inches. To me, that's so theoretical. Like, hey, look, here's the...
but just a point of reference, I mean, that is fucking close. You deal with 2 inches all the time, so you know exactly what that's like.
You think that's funny, don't you?
I mean, it's a fact.
It's funny. Keep in mind, your parents watch this?
Parent, dad. Dad's a dude. He gets it.
Oh. Yeah, well, whatever. But here's the point. So the you know, 1 to 6s, like on that Vortex, it's forgiving for a scope, but it's a little bit, honestly, it was definitely plaguing me today and I was having a hard time with it. Granted, fatigue, I don't know, for whatever reason, the last half an hour of the day, like fatigue definitely set in for me. But the EOTech, look, here's the thing, and this is a bit of a, you know, it's just a big consideration for you guys. So if you're running this gun, right, it's very easy to pick up that dot. This is where naturally I would have the gun set for me, right, on basically one position in from full length stock. That's ergonomically how I would grip this gun. Now, as soon as you flip up that EOTech, you go, look, this doesn't work. I mean, I can literally see like nothing.
A pinhole?
It's very, very small. I mean, it's maybe 20% of the actual like diameter of the G33. So as soon as you flip that up, for those of you, and this is a relatively new platform for me, what you got to do is suck your eye in literally till, like, just to make this easy, I can see the full G33 right there.
When you're literally
I'm literally shaking. So, you know, it's tricky. There's a lot of professionals that do run this setup, so clearly you can train your way through it, or you can say, hey, look, you got to collapse your stock all the way in. Now, the problem
I think they all run it collapsed in, man.
Well, and keep in mind, they're also wearing plate carriers. So that's going to add, you know, that's going to add bulk, which is going to change the dynamic, which we're not doing. So, like, it's not an apples to apples comparison. The problem with this for me is I can shoot this way. The EOTech, I mean, with no magnification, it's just, it's tight. It's not super comfortable. But as soon as this comes in with my stock collapsed, this is very feasible now.
Much better.
So you could collapse in your stock, you could go stock out, but you're going to have to be able to get sucked up very, very tight onto that EOTech. Is there, you know, it's just considerations. I don't think there's a right answer on it. It's a pros and cons thing. Look, you know, and we're going to come back to that. But in terms of eye relief, that's what you got.
Let me hit a point with that real quick. No, you can set it down. EOTech's got that donut of death, right?
Yep.
With the hash marks.
Yep.
60 millimeter, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
If you know the reticle real well.
MOA, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Whatever. If you know the reticle real well, you can do holdovers out to like 300, right? Which is the argument for those.
Yep.
But man, there's a lot going on in that reticle. I've never been like a huge EOTech fan. They're just kind of not my thing.
Yeah.
For like CQB and stuff, I've heard they're bar none the best, right? Vehicle stuff, CQB, cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, that's a lot to remember and get down on that reticle. And in the owner's manual, it breaks it down for you. And that's what, you know, Eddie at the shop runs all EOTechs. Yeah. And he can run the piss out of them, dude. Like,
yeah, I think it's certainly
them.
A training thing.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to some of that, a couple more of the actual like bullet points for you guys. Waterproof stats, in case that's relevant for you, whether you live in either a super like wet environment,
it's super good for Arizona.
What?
To know the waterproof levels?
Yeah, since it's a super, super wet climate down there. The Vortex, my answer on is it waterproof? Yes. I don't have anything more than that. That's all they say on the site. Yeah. It's waterproof.
Yep.
EOTech, 33 feet. So does that matter? For most of you, probably not.
Really? 33 feet?
33 feet.
That's not that deep.
Not that deep. Deeper than I'm going on my average scuba, but you know, that's just me.
Well, I was thinking like, you know, sorry, my brain's going off on a tangent.
No, your brain's pretty dysfunctional most of the time. Daytime brightness, hey look, something like that 1 to 6, it's never really gonna be as bright as something like this or an aim point. It is bright enough, granted it's a little overcast today and we're in a, you know, an environment that gets very washed out, but look, when that dot is powered all the way up to 10, it's pretty effective. Like, I mean, it's pretty effective. You still have a reticle to deal with, so it's not just a dot, but the dot in the center of that reticle is honestly pretty effective. The brightness on something like a EOTech aim point, most red dots in general, certainly going to be a lot better. But in terms of like some stuff that I've came up with, fucking whatever, man. In terms of like some kind of pros and cons stuff, pro for the LPVO, con for the red dot magnifier. If your battery goes out on the LPVO, I can still shoot. I still got a reticle, you know?
Got those crosshairs.
100%. And that would lead me to my sort of second point, which is, hey, look, because of that reason, the LPVO for me, especially at 1 power up to 6, 8, 10, whatever it is a better, like, shit hits the fan, like, into the world optic. Because, hey, look, once my battery inevitably dies on this EOTech relatively quickly, you either got to replace it or stay with me because you got to go down the rabbit hole for a second. But hey, fucking EMP or nukes or something goes off and you go, well, would that LPVO work? Probably not. I don't know. I've never tested that. Fortunately, I've never been in a nuclear storm or anything like that. But the fact that, hey, if the electrical shits were short-circuited out, again, I can still run that 1 to 6, okay? It is a consideration in terms of the apocalypse argument, which, you know, you guys can have, which hell I just had with you, so I'm in your boat too. One pro of the LPVO, con for this is, hey, look, at this price, because this is not a cheap setup, you know, in Corona times, you're not getting deals on any of this shit. So between the EOTech and the magnifier and the Unity mounts, which in all fairness, I found the EOTech online, magnifier and Unity mounts came from Pistol Parlor in Arizona, which I've shouted out in another video, but like it was a fucking mirror. I mean, I swear to God, that was the only place I could find this shit. So that's
we got a couple more in stock too. So
it's kind of staggering that they even have Unity shit in right now. Whatever. But pro for the LPVO is, hey, look, at this kind of price bracket, which is going to be $1,500 north once all this is done, right? Frankly, okay, so this 700, 600, 300 for the mounts. What is that? 13, 14, 15, 16, 1,600 bucks. That's a lot of cheese, man. A lot of cheese. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. 1,600 bucks for a red dot with a magnifier.
That's on mortgage payment.
On really Gucci mounts, okay? Versus even on that 1 to 6, not the highest end 1 to 6, but you look about 900 bucks out the door, okay? So, you know, you got to consider that. But the interesting thing is, you go, look, at this kind of price bracket for a setup like this, you could go get a 1 to 10, right? Yeah. On the LPVO, and you're only getting 3 power here. Yeah. So in terms of the actual magnification, how much you're going to get more magnification in the LPVO world than you are with the magnifier world, even though there is I think it's for the aim point, there's a 6X. I think there's a 6X for aim points. You know what? I think EOTech actually has one too, but it doesn't fit the Unity stuff. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right on that.
I think you're right.
Pretty sure I'm right, but not positive. Be right back with you, everyone. Pro of the magnifier, con of the LPVO, and for me, it's probably one of the hallmark points, is that this magnifier can be taken off basically instantly. It's on a quick detach mount, flip the lever, take the thing off, and what's cool is it doesn't need to be re-zeroed. Now that gives you a couple advantages. One, you could take this off, you could use it as a spotting scope if you wanted to, right?
Oh,
Think about that.
That's a good argument.
Think about that, big guy, right? So you're going out hunting or something, right? Let's say I'm hunting grizzlies, right? And I'm trying to like look across take this bad boy off, take it off the actual mount, and I got a little spotting scope.
You're hunting grizzlies with this?
I could.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You just dome shots, you know? But anyway, we won't get into that now. But you could take this off, use it as a spotting scope. You could also, if you said, hey, look, I've got multiple optics with EOTechs on it, you don't need a bunch of G33s. You can rotate this one around all your different rifles.
Good point.
And if you go, hey, look, I'm doing a range day, we're doing everything 100 it in, cool, take that thing off if it's in your way and just run the EOTech.
Yeah.
Put it back on, doesn't need to be rezeroed. Like, so it's pretty cool because of that. So in terms of the ease of use on different platforms and everything, definitely point to the G33 or magnifiers in general. Another magnifier pro, actually I already hit that. So one thing that I would, about my last point in terms of my pros and cons list here would be this. How does each of these setups impact your ability to run iron sights? It's a consideration. Now there can be debate out there of should you run irons, should you not?
Do you?
If I can, okay? Now the reality is this gun, the way this gun is set up for me right now as a lefty, really I can't, not really, you know, because like, look, that's how that gun's run. So for me as a lefty, that's where my pressure pad for my light is. Light's gonna be offset on this side. So look, if I was running this and I needed to, I'm flipped up and I needed to switch to irons, I would be canting my gun that way. Problem, I got a light there, okay? So not to mention, if you're running, this is gonna be more in the Unity fast mounts video, but given the height of these, unless there's really tall rifle iron sights, which I'm not really aware of, maybe there are, maybe there's not, but like they don't even co-witness with this. Like even if you've got irons up here, they're just not gonna co-witness with your EOTech, so consider that. I would like to run irons with this because of the low battery life of the EOTech. Per my current configuration, not an option. The LPVO, I'm frankly less concerned with irons just because, again, I'm always going to have a reticle. If you leave that thing powered up, sure, maybe you're going to have an offset aim point, RMR, irons, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's more in the like personal preference. How do you run your gear? And for those of you who are newer to shooting and you're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? Like,
yeah,
we're going a little down the rabbit hole, okay? For experienced shooters, you're like tracking totally with you. If you're newer, you're like, I have no idea what you just said, but that's why you have YouTube. You can go learn all kinds of new stuff.
Yeah, I don't have iron sights on any of my rifles.
I prefer to have them because why the hell not? But
my argument is just if I was deploying or cop or anything like that, for sure.
Yeah, mandatory, for sure.
Shit hits the fan, that
Yeah.
aim point, I can have 2 batteries in it. I got 80,000 hours of runtime.
Yeah,
That breaks.
he's a gun bunny. He ain't doing nothing that requires like some real shit.
Last time I deployed was like 6 months ago, so
Right.
I'm not doing it anymore.
By the way, we're joking. So before
Total
everyone's like stolen ballot, like calm down, we're joking.
You guys didn't do anything.
Everyone relax.
Like MEAL Team 6 over here.
Total civilians, we acknowledge that, okay? My final, my kind of final thought after experimenting and running all this stuff is, okay, hey, whatever, you're in the market, hey, I've got a rifle, I want to deck it out, and I'm debating, should I get a red dot with a magnifier or should I get a low power variable optic in case this whole time you've been confused about what LPVO means? I think it depends on application. For me, that would be my 2 cents. What do we got? Grizzly?
I mean, he just perked up, so I'm just looking. I don't
It's
really
a grizzly. I'm all over it, all right? I think it depends on application. And the big question would be, hey, look, what's the majority of your time going to be shooting? Let's say 100 and in, or longer ranges through mountains and fields and stuff like that, call it 200 plus.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where you got to start. For me, most things that I do are close, in which case I would much rather shoot this with no magnification than 1 power on an LPVO.
Correct.
All day. All day I would take this at 1 power. Once we, okay, I'm at 300 yards, what do I want to do? I don't know, man. I don't know. I could debate it either way there. But I think you go, hey, look, if most of the time you're going to be shooting, call it 200-300 plus, LPVO probably makes some sense with some offset irons or RMR or something like that. Leave that thing powered up, offset red dot irons, if you go, hey, look, most of my time I'm shooting at like, you know, 50 yards, CQB environments, things like that, SWAT cops, things like that. Like, dude, this shit all day, like all day. Because again, take off the magnifier, like, you know, like no biggie. Like, it's a fast reticle. I'm personally a fan of the EOTech thus far, but you know, again,
I mean, with that, you know, especially on a QD mount like that, say you are overseas or something, you'd pop that G33 off if you guys are hitting like an objective.
Yeah, throw it in
a pouch or something, and then say you got to exfil, like, you know, you guys got to hike out a couple kilometers, throw that back on.
Yeah,
but that's
and again, very, very quick. I just don't feel like taking it off right now, but oh fuck it, why not? I mean, like literally, it's
just leave it. It's a QD. People know what a QD is.
Yeah, you know how to take off, you know. But yeah, it's up to you. I don't really think there's a right or wrong answer. I think most of it depends on desired application, and then you can go from there. I'm a fan of both. Both have limitations. I've never found something where it's perfect all the time. It's always trade-offs, pros, cons. So
yeah.
In the list of unhelpful videos that we've put out, I'd say this is probably a 9 out of 10.
I mean, it's stuff to consider, like, you know, especially here, you know, we're out in the middle of nowhere, but most of us live in the city, right? If you have to, shit hits the fan, apocalypse, what's the average length of a city block? Do you know? Is it 100 yards?
100-ish.
Right?
Maybe a
what
little
about
more?
the block you live on? The furthest shot you can take from your house is 100 yards.
Probably.
So,
yeah.
Is there a need for magnification, LPVO? I don't know. It could be argued, but, you know, throw that in a pouch and call it a day.
Yeah.
If you need it because you're hunting grizzlies, throw it on.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking grizzlies.
That's what I'm saying, man. Good for nothing. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone.
I thought it was a good video.
I'd say it's average.
Average?
That's its average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to get behind an EOTech. I really haven't spent any time behind them. I was taught on all aim points, so that's all I own.
Chris has very
specific taste.
Basic white, you know.
Aim,
you know
aim
what
points
the kids say, a basic white B.
Bitch.
That's
Dude, I
his
drink
taste.
White Claws all day. I'm a basic white bitch.
Literally, he owns nothing but ARs, Glocks, and White Claws. And if that ain't a basic white bitch,
I don't know what is, and I'm proud of it.
Which is weird. But anyway, we leave you with that, and we hope you have a good rest of the week or weekend or whatever day this comes. And happy apocalypse to everyone. Stay safe out there. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple days.
We'll see you basic bitches later.
Bye-bye.